Hello everyone, it's Vince12 saying it again, and welcome to another Let's Rage. I've tried recording this game in particular twice, and excuse me if I sound a little bit off. I'm just very tired right now. I haven't gone to bed yet. Probably should, but no, I decided to torture myself by playing a shitty game, and for once I turned off the fan so you wouldn't hear the background, but yeah, this game fucking blows. And you would think that an Indiana Jones game wouldn't be too hard to get right, but they fucked up a number of times, this being, in my personal opinion, one of the worst examples of how you can go about doing an Indiana Jones game. Now, I would like to demonstrate something first before I go any further. Look at this. You take damage from hitting your head on the ceiling. Now, I've made a rant before about how some gameplay... I'm trying to dropkick this asshole. Some gameplay aspects and some crutches in a game have to make sense in the context of what you're playing. Indiana Jones is not exactly a series that actually goes for that much realism, so you can't even argue in terms of video game logic or trying to make it a little bit more realistic. Video game logic, it makes no sense. In the context of what it's trying to make adapt into a game, it makes even less sense. As Mr. Plinkett pointed out in his the fourth Indiana Jones film review, Kingdom of Crystal Skull review, if it was trying to be realistic, Indiana Jones' face would be deformed from how many times he had been punched in the face, or he would have been arrested a long time ago for half the shit he pulled without getting in trouble. And there is actually, if you can see it down there, there's a meter for how much of your whip you can use. And it doesn't run out, as in the whip doesn't run out. It's just the whip becomes weaker the more you use it. Not that it really matters, because the damage that your fist does and your whip are somewhat... By the way, I only knew to do that at the last second, like right there where the shallow water is. That would have killed you. I jump in that, I die. How the flying fuck is Indiana Jones dying from shallow water? In what context does it make sense? And I died, of course. And just avoid the deadly poisoned water. And I'm gonna reference this game. If you want a game that's more to the spirit of Indiana Jones, play La Mulana instead. No, it didn't come out in this time period, but I wish it had, because it would have been much better. Actual puzzle solving and legitimate gameplay that involves progression as you go along. Well, what do you know? I think that was kind of redundant, but you get the point. You know, I openly admit right now, and by the way, you get only one life. No continues, no... You only get a few lives. Oh wait, never mind. I was thinking about another game I was playing not too long ago. My mistake. And they have the decency, to be fair, to start you off where you died. But it's not going to help much, because you're going to be well acquainted with death by the time you're done playing this pile of shit. And again, you have to measure your jumps very carefully, or else you will die, and you have to make sure to jump right here. Or at the very least move. Make sure that you have to jump right there. Right there you have to jump. Onto the rope. Now as fast as that's going, your reflexes most likely aren't going to react on time. I wouldn't exactly call it a beginner's trap. I would say that the rail is right fucking there. How am I missing? Nothing that can be solved with good old-fashioned dick punching. Okay. I forgot what I was saying. I'm too tired to even think. I couldn't possibly care less about me losing right now. I want you to hear how awful this music is, by the way. I don't know if that's the emulator fucking up on that one part for some inexplicable reason, but oh my god. I understand you're trying to make it sound archaic and worn, but how do you make it sound that bad? And I missed again. I don't know if it's my fault or I guess you have to jump right as soon as it gets near the water. Again, you wouldn't really have much of an inclination to do that the first time you play, because guess what? People tend not to know what's ahead when they're playing the game for the first time. And that was completely my fault. There is a boss fight coming up too, and I hope we get to it because people have progressed in this, and because I want to show off one wonderful thing about the boss fights in this game. And it's with all the boss fights in this game, by the way. I would like to point that out. Yeah, my name is all caps A. Damn, that should have been my YouTube username instead of Vince12. All caps A. Spell it exactly like I said it. I don't know what the options are so far. And I love how you have to get the torch, and the torch lights up the whole fucking area. Want to have realism by having your head damaged when you hit the fucking ceiling, but then you have that shit. The whole one torch lights up the whole fucking place. Couldn't even have it just a little light switch that Indy happens to come across. Play oh yeah, I was again mentioning better games to play that more in the spirit of Indiana Jones. Played any Metroidvania game. Play La Mulana. Play the Greatest Adventures game on SNES, which perfectly captures the spirit of Indiana Jones. It's not a great game by any means, but it's very, very solid. I think Lucasfilm, I think the company was called Lucasfilms? Or LucasArts, I think. I think they were one of the exceptions to the rule where licensed games usually suck. And I completely did that by accident. I have this... It's because of how slow I get, like, subconsciously, and this is what happened when I tried to play a game like Terminator. I want to go faster, and I know, you see I'm going at a not too decent... I'm going at a decent pace that it is, but I want to go faster. So my subconscious is telling me to jump to move faster, and that's simply not true. You move the same speed. But there shouldn't be a... The way I see it, there should not be a threat of killing myself every time I jump in a small corridor. I have to lightly tap the button to make sure my head will hit my head on the ceiling. I already mentioned that. I'm kind of getting redundant now. And again, it's more useful to use the whip. Even though, you know, you have to worry about the meter, but then again, why bother even caring about the meter? Why even have the meter there? What does it do gameplay-wise to make the game more interesting or unique or dynamic? Why am I asking these questions? It's like, basically, it's like, I equate game design like this to the level of fucking, what's it called, Active Enterprises with Action 52. I'm not saying it's nearly as bad, but basically the idea that we need to put enemies in this game because games need enemies. And it's such bottom of the barrel thinking when it comes to game design. We need to have this in this game because I think that's what game... It didn't... I need to be on the very fucking center. Excuse me. Excuse me! I don't even give a flying fuck what this game is called again. It's something... Last Crusade, that's what it is. But, it's bottom of the barrel game design. And it's usually the thinking of people who... Usually they themselves do not play games. And no, you can't just jump and hit it. That's a mistake that everyone has made when they first played this game. Some people just aren't meant to be making games. You're like, I don't know, you think back, I like to reference some games like Capcom, where the like in the Mega Man games, you can pick a Robot Master, so it introduces the idea of being able to pick who you fight first to, one, break up the monotony of having to fight people in a certain order, And 2, introduce the idea of the rock, paper, scissors mechanic in order to... I didn't even fall off the fucking ramp. I hit my head again. Fantastic. Introduce the rock, paper, scissors mechanic in order to, you know, to enhance the gameplay a little, to have, it gave incentive to go fight enemies in a certain order. That's how you do it. You don't just put shit in the game for no reason and expect it to stick. And you have to go right as soon as it goes down by the way. Oh, you can eat me. And let me guess, we're gonna have to go all the way back there. Yes, we are. I could tell before I even did, because that's also another bullshit level design type thing. I don't know. Gameplay, not levels. A little bit more on point because I played a little bit of this game beforehand, and again, I hit my head on the goddamn ceiling! And now I'm leaning, you don't see me right now, but I'm leaning forward, and if my fan was on, you'd be able to tell that. Let's actually try to progress in this and get that out of the way, thank you. Hope I can obscure that. But I'm too lazy to edit because fuck it, I don't even give a shit anymore. I am getting past this fucking part. I'm half tempted to even start using save states just to progress, but that's not how you do it. That isn't how you do it. It's not about... Now watch my head, so and as we all know, Harrison Ford is, you know, the cream puff and has to worry about injuring his tender head every goddamn time. And again, you have to time it specifically so you go... when that thing goes down, you have to make sure that you move as soon as it starts going back up, or else it'll be skewered immediately. Skewered, I don't know. I don't give two shits right now. There's not much to say that I haven't already said. And I do feel guilty for, you know, sucking this hard and not showing what the other levels look like, but basically all the levels equate to this. It's the same thing, and really, stop to think about this. What you're seeing right now, do you honestly expect this game to introduce any new gameplay mechanics? Do you honestly expect it to do anything different? With all of the shitty ass things that you've seen so far, and the horrible design choices, do you honestly think they have enough decency to try and change it up and make it interesting? No. Because that requires actual effort and creativity, which these people obviously did not have. Which is ironic considering you're making an Indiana Jones game. Creativity and effort are two things that go hand in hand in an Indiana Jones game. Or should, rather. Could be playing Mom right now. And yeah, I'm stuck on it. It's frustrating, but at least I have fun solving shit. And at least it actually respects my intelligence. And the gameplay designs that happen in that game are actually... Well, that's not... The gameplay designs and the actual crutches that game implements actually makes sense in the context of the game, because there's more to it than just going around hitting people. Speaking of that, I could be playing something awesome on the Genesis like Streets of Rage, but no. No. I decided to do this. At times I wonder where my life is taking me. I'm being a little bit morbid, so I'll try to cheer up, but no guarantees. And again, my whip power, which again, I don't know why I have to have a fucking meter for the thing, has run out, so I have to be careful and tiptoe my way around the place and wait for my whip to actually do anything effective because it takes too long, and now my fucking thing is running out. What is the point of the... And the funny thing is, I think this is the only level that does this. The torch. This, one or two levels from what I've seen from gameplay footage, and I died, and I have to do the whole fucking Oh. Okay, I have to give you credit there, game. You swerved me. If there's one nice thing I could say about this game, it's somewhat generous with the checkpoints. Not even generous. I would say it's flexible with the checkpoints. I can't go over there because I'm gonna hit my head and get a pancreatic cancer or some shit. You motherfucker! That was my fault. My finger slipped. I shouldn't have to fucking worry about that. Should be the least of my goddamn concerns. Oh yeah, I got a torch. Awesome. If that asshole respawned, I would have just lost it. At least I have one life. And the fucking knockback got me. Do I have a ranged attack that would probably have helped me fend this asshole off? No, I don't! The closest thing I have is the goddamn whip, and it's useless! Well, okay, that's just me embellishing now. And that's just me sucking at the game now. But you already knew that, I'm willing to wager. I don't know if you people caught on yet, but I'm not good at games. I like to think I am, but that's just not the case. It feels like I'm backtracking, I swear to fuck. That's why you kind of spice up your level design and how everything looks, so it doesn't look like you're going the same way. You fucking ceiling bullshit. Go. My ass, I'm just so tense right now with this fucking sequence. And again, I have to ask, what's the point? You asshole! I am not backtracking, and I better have some goddamn continues, because the boss is coming up, and I don't think you necessarily need it. It's recommended, because the boss fight is kind of piss easy. Watch me, and I will fuck up when I fight him, though. Yep, there we go. Okay, there we go. So here we go. I think it starts us off right next to him, though. And see, his attack right there is not what you need to be concerned with. It's him doing that and almost knocking back into the instant death pit below. Look at this! Why is that here? I count my blessings I didn't grow up with this piece of shit. And why does he bother swinging at me when the most dangerous thing he can do is there? And that's just me nitpicking, but I don't give two shits because this game sucks ass. And he just does this. Great game design. Now watch this. You need to move. Wait, you can't even do that. You need to do this right away or else you will die instantly. And this happens with every single boss fight. You have to move right away or you will be killed immediately by a death trap. Again, what's the point? If it's supposed to make you feel like Indiana Jones, have a chase, like, even though I think the original, not the original game, the Greatest Adventures game, at the very least, it had a, like, 3D chase sequence that actually made sense in the context of the game because, you know, it was from that popular moment. We have to include a death trap because that's in Indiana Jones 2, right? It doesn't need to have context of any kind. And these assholes back here. And I noticed that you can conserve your whip and let it, and it kind of loads after, not loads up, builds up after a while. Not that I give an ass. Because I don't. Make a drinking game for all the times I've mentioned that by now. And why do some of the enemies attack me and others don't? I would like to know that. And by the way, I love how... Well, you know, you could argue that, yeah, I should have known by the fact that, you know, it's the only thing that has come out of the foreground so far. But, what the fuck? That took almost all my health on the first time. Great. Great. Fan-fucking-tastic. And now I got this piece of shit to worry about. I can't exactly multitask when you're setting horde after horde of enemies and obstacles at me, you piece of shit. I keep not being mindful of where my cursor is. Did I, honest to God, just die because I fell into the fucking hole with nothing in it? Oh wait, those are the snakes. Makes sense. Well, that's Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade for the Mega Drive. I don't give a flying fuck. I hope you enjoyed. I did not. I'm gonna go do something more constructive with my time, like, I don't know, tear my skin off or drink cyanide. Have a good one.